The horror genre is one of the most complex and exciting to explore in the mainstream cinema. It seeks to create a sense of fear and panic in the audience by constantly building suspense, presenting the audience with some of their worst nightmares and most dreaded thoughts. These kind of requirements help the creators of the movie express thoughts and explore the subconscious in a way that is almost impossible in any other genre. Because of its complexity, it is very rare to encounter a good horror movie. That's why Hollywood made it easier by the inclusion of some of the most annoying tricks since the inclusion of a fart joke in comedy movies.
Start coming.
Following tricks include a monster or a demon. The following monster / demon must not be scary. It must appear at predictable moments to avoid any sense of danger. If needed, this creature will only be seen or appear to children. The loudest music. Extreme, senseless gore. But now, let's talk about the worst of them all. The jump scare. This motherfucker is in every horror movie. In small doses, it helps to keep the audience in suspense as long as the character experiences it organically. Sadly, it's been used so much, it simply deflates the tension, and using it as the only way to be scary, it's annoying as f***. Hey Hollywood, yes, we jump because it's a fucking human reaction. See? It's not scary and it's annoying as f***. And this is where it comes in. This is a great comedy that satirizes these tropes by overusing them to a point it's comedic. Wait, what? Seriously, dude? Not a comedy. You sure? Do the critics know this? They do? Are you fucking serious? Did they watch the same movie? What the f***? Okay, you sick f***, it's on! First of all, what the fuck is this monster? For starters, it in this movie is already 10 times less scary than in the previous. His fucking smile, it's so ridiculous. And he's proud of it!
Oh my, get in there, can we see that? Can we, do you mind, just for that camera right there, the
Number three.
Yeah, there we go.
You! Who did you took lessons from? A toddler? Bugs Bunny?
What's up, Doc?
When he goes and attacks the kid. Did anyone thought that shit was a good idea to be in the film? I guess everyone thought, there's no way they're gonna leave that in, it's stupid. And yet the actor shaking his head while doing the jogging man was a good enough idea for the director, the producer, and the actor to say, yeah, this shit should be in. But the most annoying thing, his voice. This is how I imagine they told him to make it. Okay, let's practice your voice. Let me think. How would you do a 13-year-old going through puberty? Okay. I think I got it. Great. Now make it like you just inhaled water and your throat hurts because of it. Think you can do that? What do you think of this? Oh, perfect! Hey, Georgie. I'm Pennywise the Dancing Clown. This is a mediocre movie that critics are praising like the resurgence of the horror genre, even though we're probably one of the laziest and most clumsily produced high-budget movies of this year. It's like watching critics praise Transformers. Do you want a balloon? The editing in this movie, dear God, the editing in this movie. First, I must say, you and Suicide Squad did it. You won the award for the most present and annoying soundtrack in the history of cinema. But what was worse was the flow of the movie. Every time there is something scary that happened, it would just cut away instead of developing the characters of the tension of the movie. This was the formula. Number 1, plays the kid. Number 2, starts spooky music. Number 3, louder music. Number 4, scary sounds that only the audience can hear. Number 5, clown. Number 6, chopped up on intelligent moments. Number 7, boom, jumpscare mother. And number 8, instant cut. This fucking movie! There are several problems with this. The first one being that the music telegraphs the following events in the scene. The next one being an extremely predictable situation. But the most important ones are the jump scare and the instant cut. The jump scare, instead of helping the movie, it deflates the tension. Hell, I'm 90% sure at some moment there was a guy that laughed after one. Something like, that was scary, it scared me. Yeah, it caused a reaction, but it wasn't scary. And all the tension that was previously built in the scene is quickly blown away. And all the following tension that could have developed by staying with the character a minute longer, that shit instead is cut away. We move on to the next scene instead of developing the character or something that makes this movie interesting. To give you an example of how annoying this is, prepare for if The Shining was made like they made it. So, he will be riding his tricycle during the entire scene. Okay. Don't we want to introduce him? Excuse me? This is not how this works, okay, guy? In this industry, this is good movie making. You amateur. It's gonna be turning around. Then at one point, it's gonna encounter that spooky, room. It's supposed to be spooky. We'll let us out there. Don't worry about it. We don't need to address something. Then, bada boom, scary twins. But what are the twins? What do they represent? What is the room? Shh. Then, after the twins, cut away, just cut away. 10 out of 10, am I right? The only scene where they actually do it right is with Beverly, where she not only experiences it, but she talks to her dad and we see the aftermath of her experience. That is good movie making. There are 7 characters that fight against it. Only one of those characters is well developed. That is shitty movie making. Speaking of the 7, they are so paper thin characters. I think only 3 of them are likable. 5 of them could be entirely described by one sentence or less. How thin do these characters get? Tell me this guy's name. It was Mikey. It was Mikey. Okay, maybe you could tell me. How about this one? Come on. It was Oscar. I'm kidding, it was Sammy. But you didn't even know. Let's see what else. Mikey gets such an subtle foreshadowing. I don't know why discounts Samuel L. Jackson didn't tell him exactly what was going to happen. Also, that guy's name wasn't Sammy, it was Zach. Trust me this time. Among other things that bothered me were the opening scenes. Even the first movie got that right. In that one, there is this contrast of color between the kid and his environment, which is what makes this scene so iconic. You can always remember that yellow jacket. In the new one, instead, it's this saturated mess. All the environment, the jacket is toned down. Might as well have the Snyder seal of approval. It bothered me that great ideas that show so much personality are wasted in this movie. These brief moments are the only reason this movie is not a complete disaster. I don't know who were the geniuses in making these sweet moments, but this household somehow made something this terrible look somehow presentable. It bothers me that somehow something that is bad but is better than something that is terrible is considered good. I mean, what the f***? Better doesn't always equal good. Let's talk about something really important. This movie is as enjoyable as Birdemic, but most importantly, this movie is lazy. Not only is it a remake, not only did it cashing in nostalgia, but it just won't be over. Chapter 1, I could barely stop. What do you mean? There will be more? Please don't, just end. When I watched the first It, I was 10 and I got afraid. I think I didn't even shower for a week. I rewatched it and it's terrible, but that's not the point. When I watched this movie, I worried that this was the current state of the horror genre, where this is good. But I'm terrified of going back to the theater. Which is why this movie gets a 2 out of 10. Okay. 3.5 out of 10. But only because of those cute moments. And by the way, that guy's name wasn't actually Zack, it was Stan. Trust no one. Remember to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and thank you for watching.